Hi, this is Amy Brown, and this is Church People Part 2. I would greatly appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. That way YouTube sends this out to more people. I am going to tell you a story that happened several years ago at a church in Maryland that I was attending for several years. There were a group of women that sort of unofficially dominated the church. They were the A-listers, whatever you want to call them, the inner circle. Pretty much they had their finger on everything. They were involved in all aspects of the church, and they were pretty much holier than thou. And I had been in a mom's group, and you were set at tables, and there was a table leader, and then there was a mom table leader or mentor mom, or different names. And I had been a member of that group for several years. And then when I left, when my children were older, there was a woman at church that was very involved in the group, and she said that she would love if I would come back as a mentor mom, and how much that would mean to her, and how much she thought I could offer to the younger moms. And I really couldn't do that because their meeting was the same time as my real estate office meeting, so it just didn't work. But I kept seeing her at Target and at church, and she would ask me every time she would see me. So I went ahead and asked my manager for permission to miss the office real estate meetings, and she was very gracious and said, absolutely, if this is important to you, then that's what you need to do, and that's where you need to spend your time. So I got permission, which I wasn't sure if I would, and I told this mom, and she was great, contact Vicky. She's the head of the mentor moms. Vicky is a false name to protect the guilty. And so I emailed Vicky, and she wrote me back and said they were full. They didn't need any other moms right now. And if I was still interested in the fall, to contact her again. So I did. I contacted her in the fall, which was, I don't know, about 9 months after this. Then she said, okay, fill out an application and take this online spiritual gift test, and send me the results of that test, and send me your application. So I did, and then I followed up with her because I hadn't heard anything, and she said, meet me after church, and we'll have a little meeting about this. And I thought, that's kind of weird, but anyway, okay. So after church, I went, and my daughter was with me, and I thought it was just going to be real quick, like 2-3 minutes, just her telling me what date the new semester was going to start, and welcome aboard, and just, again, very brief. But it was not the case, and my daughter sat next to me while Vicky went on to tell me that I was not in the Word enough, and that they were looking for women that were more in the Word. And what's interesting is she really didn't know me at all, because again, I was not in the inner circle at all. I was not an A-lister, so she would have no clue about how often I read my Bible. And what was really interesting is I had just finished up a Bible study of the Minor Prophets, which was really a meaty Bible study. So I was definitely in the Word, although she would have no way of knowing that. She went on to tell me that this group of women, the leadership, they would pray, and they would be told who to select. So basically, I never needed to reapply. They would pray about it, and then they would contact the moms that came to them through prayer. And so I thought, well, that's interesting. So apparently they had a direct connection to Jesus, and he was telling them exactly who should be a mentor mom at this church. So I am rarely speechless. I always have something to say. And I can tell you that in that moment, I was truly speechless. My daughter was with me at the time. She was, I think, in 11th grade. And she was also speechless. We walked out of that room and just kind of looked at each other like, what was that? So that is an example of church people, of church women holding each other down. I have good news. I have a solid church in Central Florida that I attend, and I don't have any of these interesting stories from my new church, thank goodness. So anyway, if you can relate to this story in any way, please leave your comment below, church people.